222 day, we will talk about Velo and SHX and their connections into XLM to expand upon what I talked about with their possible integration with Binance and Orbit, using on-chain data to compare what that partnership could be, using the Ripple and Uphold partnership to facilitate the near instantaneous transfer of money across borders, because Binance is even more integrated into different countries and exchanges than Uphold is. Here we get into on-chain data. The only role that banks will play going forward is to provide the backing of stablecoins issued on top of XLM. But people and exchanges won't deal directly with banks anymore. And it's not just going to be exchanges. All retail and wholesale economic activity will bypass the banks altogether by operating on stablecoins through Velo, which is pretty close to what Velo Orbit and Universe are trying to do. Here is an account that connects Velo and OKX, who have been building up their Velo reserves. They don't trade it, but they send it off to accounts that do for other assets on the XLM chain. And here is that account, which holds XLM, SHX, Mobi, Rio, and Velo. And I have filtered out transactions just to include ones with Velo in it. And it happens pretty often. Here you've got multiple transactions happening every minute that are tied to OKX accounts. And it appears that Velo is exchanged for XLM as a bridge asset, which is then traded for other assets. So Velo seems to bridge from exchanges to accounts that trade other assets on Stellar against XLM. And a lot of them go from Velo to XLM and then to USDC, which we have an example of that here, where we've got USDC into Velo being bridged by XLM. And explained in a different way, it seems as if OKX uses Velo as a bridge asset to record settlement data to the XLM chain, which goes in line with how I talk about Stellar ending up as one of, if not the primary, public-facing chain. Now we get into Binance. They are integrated with the Stellar network by APS, which is shown here on their site, and here from January of 2023, where Binance has launched an option for its account holders to pay for goods and services through APS and Binance Pay, which all ties back into the possibility that Velo and Binance could be positioning to operate comparable to Ripple and Uphold. Here is the APS account on Stellar that shows how they are transacting in their own assets on Stellar. And it seems as if Bitrue is using SHX for on-chain settlement, whereas OKX uses Velo, which ties back into the connections in between XLM, XRP, SHX, and Velo. Here is the same account I showed earlier that had a lot of activity in between Velo and USDC, but it also has a significant amount of SHX to USDC swaps. It appears as if SHX on-chain settlement is coming alive. And if we check out the 1 week chart for Velo, we are approaching the local high again. And I would expect it to continue to try to push up. The only thing is that our RSI is extremely high at the moment. And if we check out SHX, it is the exact opposite thing. We have been in a pennant for about 3 months now, and our 1 week RSI hasn't been as low as it is now since May of 2023, which was a long time before its pump from about 0.0004 all of the way up to a high of about 1.5 cents.